Welcome to RMTC-DHH's series on the high leverage practices for students with disabilities. In this video, we will be discussing the 15th high leverage practice from the CEC and CEEDAR Center's publication, High Leverage Practices in Special Education. This video was made in collaboration with the Florida Inclusion Network, FIN. HLP 15 states provide scaffolded supports. Hattie's barometer of influence shows scaffolding well in the zone of desired effects at 0.8. Speaking of zones, Vygotsky coined the term Zone of Proximal Development, ZPD. When discussing scaffolding, Vygotsky's theory is often brought up. In his theory, there are 3 levels of ability from a student. What they can't do, yet. Never underestimate the power of yet. What the student can do with support, like from a teacher, mentor, or parent, and what they can do. The middle zone is considered the ZPD. This is the zone where learning best occurs for students, where it's not too easy and not too difficult, but just right. The Florida Department of Education, FDOE, and Just Read Florida, JRF, created practice profiles for literacy instruction for grades pre-K through 5 and 6 through 12. In the practice profiles, FDOE and JRF define scaffolded instruction as follows: the intentional support provided by a teacher for learners to carry out a task or solve a problem to achieve a goal that they could not do without support. It is a temporary support matched to the current understanding or skill level of learners. The intent is to provide a decreasing level of support until learners are empowered to perform independently. Think of scaffolded supports like a scaffold next to a building. After the building structure is complete, the scaffold is removed. The idea is similar to scaffolding supports in education. When the student has a firm grasp on the concept, then the scaffolds are no longer needed. According to the HLPs, teachers select powerful visual, verbal or signed, and written supports. Carefully calibrate them to students' performance and understanding in relation to learning tasks, use them flexibly, and evaluate their effectiveness, and gradually remove them once they are no longer needed. Some examples of scaffolded supports includes graphics like charts, timelines, number lines, and graphic organizers. Students who are DHH particularly benefit from visual supports. Scaffolded supports can also be interactive or collaborative, using technology, group discussions, peer pairs, small group sessions, or one-on-one support. Encouraging collaboration and peer support is instrumental in creating an atmosphere of belonging. Pairing students who are deaf or hard of hearing with classmates who have been briefed on effective communication strategies can promote a sense of belonging and mutual support. Scaffolded supports can also be sensory through the use of models and figures, manipulatives, real-life objects, physical activities, or multimedia presentations. Integrating assistive technologies can further bridge the communication gap in classrooms. Vygotsky discussed how language is the primary tool used in the development of learning. Often students who are deaf or hard of hearing have learning difficulties due to language barriers. Scaffolded language support may be beneficial for students through the use of the expanded skills standards. Sabotaging a student's environment by removing hearing aid batteries or not putting on the microphone to prompt the student to self-advocate in a safe environment can help a student when in an environment where the scaffolded supports are limited. The student asks, "Miss Williams, will you please put the microphone on?" Miss Williams replies, "Of course." For more information on scaffolded supports for students who are DHH, check out the Best Practices document created by RMTC-DHH and FIN. We will leave you with this point to ponder. What are some scaffolded supports you use in the learning environment, and how do you monitor their effectiveness? Come to the TA Live discussion to learn how your colleagues address this question, and share your thoughts to collaborate together. Remember to check out additional resources in the Live Binder. You can access the Live Binder on the RMTC-DHH TA Live website, or by going to the bit.ly/RMTC-HLP. Can't make it to the discussion session? Or perhaps you're watching a recording of this at a later time. An idea to still work within your district is to visit the Iris Center HLP Interactive Alignment Tool. This tool identifies which Iris resource provides information on each specific HLP. Where can you find information for the Iris Center? If you guessed the Live Binder, you are right. Remember, you can find that at bit.ly/RMTC-HLP. To watch more videos about the HLPs, make sure you check out the TA Live archive and our video library. Until next time, we'll see you around. The Resource Materials and Technologies Center for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing project is 73% funded through a grant from the U.S. Department of Education and administered by the Florida Department of Education. For the 2023 federal fiscal year, the total amount of federal grant funds awarded were $512,357. The remaining 27% of the costs were funded by the Florida General Appropriations Act.